How you doing, Josh?
Good, how you doing?
Good. I watched Armor this morning, man. It was fantastic, and I loved how you get to flesh out the story first, then get right to the action, and then we get to understand more about their characters, and I think it really helped the movie overall.
Thank you, man. Glad to hear it. That's definitely what attracted me to it as well. It's an action movie, but at the heart, it's really a father-son story.
Yeah, it is. So my first question is, what was it like working with Jason Patric as your dad?
That was awesome. It was very clear that he's been around the block a few times when it comes to making movies. He made a lot of good suggestions. He wasn't afraid to make changes and do things on the fly. And it really is just me and him for in tight quarters for most of it. So I was lucky to have him as a scene partner for sure.
Yeah, and that was great. The chemistry between you two. I felt like like he was really being a doting dad to you, despite having this little past demon that he has. And I think for the heart of it, I like the part where you flip out because you lost your pen light, and it's just
Yeah.
like okay, I'm not gonna tell her that you lost your pen light with
Yeah.
like I thought that was kind of a little comic relief to it, but I like the fact that as you mentioned, you said that he came up with stuff on the fly. Like, so how'd you guys work that out in terms of being there on the set?
We would pretty much just briefly go over the scene. I mean, as we were rehearsing, he would just throw suggestions out there and change stuff, change dialogue. It's funny that line that you're mentioning. He improved the with your little initials on it when he after he says that you lost your pen light. He just kind of threw that in there, and that really kind of wraps up the comedy of the scene. But yeah, just a lot of really just doing it right before shooting and just kind of winging it essentially.
That's awesome. And what was it like working with, I know you're mostly in the tight quarters, but outside you got the legend of Sylvester Stallone. What was it like with him on the set?
It was awesome. Yeah, there's really only one scene with all of us physically together on camera, and yeah, it's really same thing with Jason. Just he was in command of everything that was going on. He was communicating with the camera and the crew, and just knew you could tell he could do this in his sleep. So it was a cool experience to witness.
Yeah, one thing that really struck out for me in the film is the fact that despite, the fact that it's you and your dad and against these robbers, the fact that the robbers even start not trusting each other, especially
Right. Yeah.
Dash's character, that dude was an unhinged. Like that was insane. And I like and then what really struck me also was once we understand Jason's story, like how he never quit drinking, that part really like freaked me. I wasn't freaking out, but I was like, wow. I was like, I wasn't expecting that because here he is being the sponsor, and all of a sudden he's like, I never really quit. And like and I like the fact that he actually apologizes to you and saying, I wish I could have been there as a better dad and all that. But and then we saw what the events that happened, like how why this happened. I think, and I that's why I feel like this is a different type of action movie because it's not your typical one. Like as you said
Yeah.
yourself, it's a father-son film, and that scene right there had a lot of heart to the film.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of wrinkles like that throughout the movie, and it just stuff like that that really kind of sets it apart from your typical action fare.
Yeah. So what was it? How long did you spend time shooting, and were there any issues on the set that can talk about?
Um, Not really. I mean, we shot in 10 days, which is insane. It's by far the shortest shoot I've had for a feature. But other than problems on set, I mean, nothing beyond just your regular making movies always a shit show to
Yeah.
some degree. So I mean, beyond that, nothing. I mean, all things considered, it was pretty smooth. Yeah, it went well.
That's a relief to hear. Well, I hope everyone gets to check out Armor when it comes out. And what's next for you that you can talk about after this?
Nothing around the corner. We'll see. Fingers crossed. But yeah, to be decided.
Awesome. And when can we see Armor? Let everyone know what's it.
It is in theaters and on demand November 22nd.
There you go. So guys, check out Armor on November 22nd. This is a great action film. Excellent cast. Of course, you got the legends of Jason Patric and Sylvester Stallone. Josh here did a tremendous job as Jason's son. I mean, their story is like the heart of the film, despite what goes on in the film. And Josh, thank you so much for taking the time to talk about it.
Thank you, man. Appreciate
All right, stay awesome.
it. You too.
Bye.